Hello everyone. How are you all? From today, we meet every day. We meet every day here, and we discuss about the chemistry. And first, we took the topic chemical bonding. So already you are listening from few days about the chemical bonding. But again, we discuss the chemical bonding from a fresh topic that is ionic bond. Okay, so let's start the class. Just listen carefully. So because it's not a direct class, so direct class flow that interaction is different. In this YouTube classes, our interaction is not perfect. So just listen carefully and write the notes properly. Okay. Now we start the ionic bond. Okay. So already we know this. What is meant by a chemical bond? Okay, ionic bond is one of the types of bond. One of the types of bond. So what is meant by actual chemical bond? Just we give some brief explanation for that. Okay. What is meant by a chemical bond? So chemical bond means so this is attraction force. The attraction force which makes atoms or ions etc. together. The force of attraction you can define a chemical bond like this. Okay, the force of attraction which makes atoms or ions or any particles together is called chemical bond. Means why atoms or ions wants to combine to get to form a new compound means just why the chemical bond takes place. What is the reason to form a chemical bond means to get stability. To get stability only all our atoms or ions ready for bond formation. Okay, so every work has some use. Everything we done in terms of some profit. Here also atoms undergoes to form a chemical bond. What is their purpose means to get stability. To get stability by decreasing their own original energy. This was just about the chemical bond. So the force of attraction which makes the atoms or ions together, that is called a chemical bond. So what is the purpose? So the chemical bond ఎందుకు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవ్వాలి atoms కానీ ions కానీ means to get stability. How they will get stability by forming chemical bond means during the formation of a chemical bond their energy decreases, and you just remember always the stability is inversely proportional to their original nothing but internal energy. At their own energy is lower one, stability will be higher one. Means what happening here? Due to the formation of a chemical bond, they are going to lose some energy in the formation of in that process. They lose some energy. That's why their original energy decreases. Their original energy decreases means their stability increases. So finally, simply we can conclude that the chemical bond takes place by atoms just to get the stability. Okay, here important, what is that force of attraction? ఇక్కడ కెమికల్ బాండ్ ఫామ్ అవ్వాలంటే కంపల్సరీ ఉండాలి, దే షుడ్ బి అట్రాక్షన్. ఓకే, మన జనరల్ లైఫ్లో కూడా ఏదైనా ఒక బాండ్, ఒక రిలేషన్ ఫామ్ అవ్వాలంటే దే షుడ్ బి సమ్ అట్రాక్షన్. ఓకే, ఫ్రెండ్షిప్, బ్లడ్ రిలేషన్, వాట్ ఎవర్, ఏదో ఒక అట్రాక్షన్ ఫోర్స్ ఉండాలి కదా. కంబైన్డ్గా క్లోజ్గా మూవ్ అవ్వాలంటే దే షుడ్ బి వన్ అట్రాక్షన్ ఫోర్స్. ఆ అట్రాక్షన్ ఫోర్స్ని ఇక్కడ మనం ఏమన్నా కెమికల్ బాండ్ అన్నాం. ఓకే, there is a different type of attraction forces are there. So in that attraction forces, scientists given a rule that is called Octet Rule. Octet Rule. So just now we said atoms, ions, all undergoes participates in the reactions and they get stable. So by observing all type of reactions, all changes in the atoms, they concluded that, they guessed that the atoms which are having, or the chemical species which are having 8 electrons in their valency, they are become stable. That is treated as octet rule. Okay, so octet rule means to get stability, any chemical species must possess 8 electrons in their valency. To get stability, any chemical species must possess, it must have 8 electrons in their valency shell, then only they become stable. So what is the basic for this octet rule is, the basic for this octet rule is noble gases which are stable, which are also known as inert gases. So inert gases, they are having 8 electrons in valency and valency shell they are having 8 electrons, that's why they are stable. Just by thinking that they concluded that all chemical species, any atoms, to get stable, they must possess 8 electrons in their shell. So that is called octet rule. Now the thing is, how to get these 8 electrons? But how to get these 8 electrons valency lo untai, they will become stable. So this was according to the octet rule or electronic theory of valency. But here thing is how to get 8 electrons in their valency shell. But outermost shell 8 electrons travel, what they have to do? What are the different choices are there? So one of the choices is formation of ionic bond to get stability by getting octet. To get stability, just become octet. Ionic bond is one of the choice. Okay. Now we see, just first we define ionic bond. So what is ionic bond means? These are the strong electrostatic attraction forces between oppositely charged The strong electrostatic attraction forces between oppositely charged ions is called ionic bond. So now we know what are these ions. We know ions are generally two types. So cations and anions. What are cations means? They are positively charged. Okay. Positively charged. So what are anions? Negatively charged. Sorry. They are negatively charged. Okay, a positive ion formed by an atom, it is formed when by losing electron or electrons. It is formed by gaining electron or electrons. Okay. So means what is the ionic bond now? The strong electrostatic attraction force. Strong electrostatic attraction force present between the two oppositely charged ions. Oppositely charged. Generally attraction present between the oppositely charged ions. Plus plus attraction possible avadu. Minus minus attraction possible avadu. So oppositely charged ions madhya unde strong electrostatic. And electrostatic ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తామంటే having different charges. Plus ఒకటి minus అలా different charges ఉన్నప్పుడు we use the word electrostatic. That attraction power to form an attraction force. అలా చెప్పిన మన attraction force నే chemical bond అంటాం. So attraction force ఎట్లా ఫామ్ అయిందంటే due to the electrostatic attraction force, that is called ionic bond. It is formed between the two ions. We discussed about the ions. So what are cations? Positively charged ions. Generally they are formed by atoms losing electrons. Anions, they are negatively charged particles. They are formed by gaining electrons by atoms. How many electrons loses? How many electrons gains? It totally depends on the nature of that element. So కొన్ని ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ గెయిన్ చేయొచ్చు, కొన్ని ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ లూజ్ అవ్వచ్చు, కొన్ని ఎలక్ట్రాన్ 1 ఎలక్ట్రాన్ గెయిన్ చేయొచ్చు, 2 ఎలక్ట్రాన్ గెయిన్ చేయొచ్చు. సమ్ ఆటమ్స్ లూజెస్ 1 ఎలక్ట్రాన్, 2 ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్. అంటే గెయినింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ నెంబర్, లూజింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ గెయిన్ నెంబర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఫిక్స్డ్. డిఫరెంట్ ఆటమ్స్కి సో డిఫరెంట్ నెంబర్ ఉంటుంది. అన్ని ఆటమ్స్కి సేమ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ లూజ్ అవ్వాలని లేదు, సో అన్ని ఆటమ్స్ సేమ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ గెయిన్ చేయాలని లేదు. ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ nature of that element. Okay, now we discuss about it. So by taking one example, we discuss the formation of ionic bond. So at first we see what is the other names of ionic bond. The ionic bond is also known as electrovalent bond. Next, it is also known as polar bond. Okay, these are the different names for ionic bond. Okay, now let's see how the formation of ionic bond takes place. See the formation of ionic bond. First we see the example. So formation of sodium chloride. Okay, so formation of sodium chloride is actually, we know about the sodium. So what is the sodium electronic configuration? Atomic number 11. So what is configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. So what is the valency outermost shell? This is the outermost shell. It is having how many electrons? 1 electron. To get 8 electrons, it need to gain 6 electrons. Okay. And a valence of 1 electron. To get octet, it must take 7 electrons. But to get 7 electrons in the reaction, it is highly impossible. That's why it try to lose this 1 electron. So minus 1 electron. Now it becomes Na plus. No change in this number. Electron change, no need to write this 10. This indicates number of protons. Okay. So now what is configuration becomes 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. There is no 3s. Now this becomes a valency shell. How many electrons are there? 8 electrons. So Na plus is more stable than Na, having octet configuration in its valency shell. So already we know this is this total configuration. Actually this total configuration equal to 10 electrons means it is a noble gas neon configuration. So finally we can say Na plus is more stable than Na. Okay, now Na becomes stable by losing 1 electron. It got octet configuration in its valency. By getting the neon configuration, it becomes stable. Now see about the Cl condition. Cl how much? Atomic number 17. So what is the valency shell? Third shell. How many electrons are there? 7 electrons. To get octet, it need only 1 electron. It need only 1 electron. So it is easy for them to get 1 electron. So chlorine takes that electron and becomes Cl minus. That is called chloride ion. Now it becomes so here again 8 electrons in the valency shell. But the total configuration becomes how much? 17 already gaining 1 electron becomes argon noble gas configuration. So octet undi ante compulsory ga edo oka noble gas kontadi. But sodium ki neon configuration ochindi, chlorine ki argon configuration ochindi. Means sodium ki near ga unna noble gas neon, chlorine ki near ga unna noble gas argon. Means here we can conclude that the gaining of electrons or losing of electrons based on their nearest to noble gas. Okay, but Cl minus 10 electrons, 7 electron lose 10 avadam neon configuration gain chesukodam not possible. But the easy possibility is this by taking 1 electron and becomes argon configuration. Okay, so now Cl minus is more stable than Cl. Na plus is more stable than Na. So now we can write these are the steps. Okay. Now the stable Na plus ion and stable Cl minus ion. And there is a strong attraction force. There is a strong attraction force plus minus. There is strong attraction force takes place between them, and there is a formation of NaCl takes place. Okay, so ikkada there is an attraction force power. Na plus Cl minus attraction force, so there is formation of sodium chloride. Okay, దీని మనం different formation కూడా రాయొచ్చు. Now we see that another formation. Here important, how many electrons are loosed by the sodium? 1 electron. How many electrons gained by the Cl? 1 electron. So that is called its electrovalency. So very important one, electrovalency. Electrovalency of sodium equals 1 because it loses 1 electron, and electrovalence of Cl is also 1. Okay, so if two atoms came under, sometimes it may be different. Okay, so this is the formation of NaCl in terms of electronic configuration. Okay, it is in terms of configuration. So the normal, it can be represented in other terms. For example, sodium. So configuration last day, we got how many valence electrons? 1 valence electron. After losing 1 electron, so it becomes Na plus. Here we are representing only valency electrons. Okay. So what is the Cl? So Cl की dots पढ़ना. So एक cross है ना electrons है, dot है ना electrons है. Two different elements का, but we are showing some difference. Cl having how many electrons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 valency electrons. After gaining 1 electron, this becomes 8 electron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 electron from this and becomes Cl minus. Okay, and due to this attraction forces of these two, means the transfer of electron takes place. Sodium loses electron and this electron is gained by the Cl. Means ionic bond is formed by the transfer of electrons from cation to anion. Okay. Now there is a formation of sodium chloride. So it may be represented like this also. Okay. Now we see the other example. Okay, see the second one. The formation of MgF2, magnesium fluoride. So now we see the different steps in the formation of MgF2. So what is Mg? That is 12. What is its configuration now? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. So valency shell is third one. How many electrons it has? 2. So to get octet rule including n electrons also, it requires 6 electrons, but 6 electron gaining is not a possible one. So by losing 2 electrons, again it becomes neon. Minus 2 electrons. Okay. So now it becomes magnesium 12. So power plus 2. Losing of electron, negative losses and the positive increases. So again it is octet configuration and total become neon configuration. So now which is stable, Mg plus 2 or Mg? So obviously Mg plus 2 is the most stable. Okay, see the F condition. F is just 9. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. It has 7 electrons, just like chlorine. 7 electrons. It needs just only 1 electron. It becomes F minus 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Octet configuration and the total configuration becomes neon. So here important The earlier example, sodium got neon configuration, chlorine got argon configuration. Means that the two configurations are different, but total they are stable. But here the two components, magnesium got neon configuration, fluorine also got neon configuration. Means Mg plus 2 stable, F minus stable. But what about that the second electron lose by magnesium? If the magnesium 2 electrons loss ayyindi. 2 electrons loss then it becomes Mg plus 2. F need only 1 electron, that is only minus 1. Okay, total compound form over what is the correct condition? The charge must be equal. Okay, neutral compound form over the charge must be 0 and the positive ions must be equal to negative ions. So, 1 electron taken by the second fluorine. Okay, again second fluorine also do the same thing. And there is a formation of second fluorine also gains the same. Means now there is a 1 magnesium plus 2 ion, 2 F minus ions are present. Okay, this is C bonds. Okay, 2 fluorines are needed. Okay, therefore now there is ions are Mg plus 2, F minus and another F minus. By strong electrostatic attraction between all these, there is a formation of MgF2 takes place. Now, what is the electrovalency of magnesium? What is the electrovalency of magnesium? Two, because it loses 2 electrons. Then what is the electrovalency of fluorine? Fluorine loses only one, gaining only 1 electron. But 2 fluorine combined that is 2 electrons. But 1 atom ke mano find out cheyali. Magnesium loses 2 electrons. Electrovalency count just up losing the gaining the mention cheyalసిన అవసరం లేదు. How many loses? How many gases? How many gains? Okay, so 2, it is 1. So in the NaCl lo 1 for sodium, 1 for Cl, but here it is different. 2 for magnesium, 1 for fluorine. Okay, and it can be represented in another way. Magnesium having 2 valency electrons. By losing the 2 electrons, F is having how many electrons? 7. By gaining 1 electron, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And there is other fluorine also participate here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now these 3 ions combine together. So by strong attraction forces, there is a formation of MgF2. Here very important one, just write as a note. It's a highly important one. Ionic bond is a non-directional bond. It is a non-directional bond. So non-directional bond means put MgF2 రాసాం. ఇప్పుడు in the formation of Mg plus 2 కి F minus ఇటు నుంచి వచ్చినా అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతుంది, ఇటు నుంచి వచ్చినా అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతుంది, ఇటు నుంచి వచ్చినా అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఏ డైరెక్షన్ నుంచి వచ్చినా there is attraction takes place between the Mg and F2. సో Mgకి రైట్ సైడ్ నుంచి F వస్తేనే బాండ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, లెఫ్ట్ నుంచి వస్తేనే బాండ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. సో దర్ ఈస్ నో స్పెసిఫిక్ డైరెక్షన్ ఫర్ ద ఫార్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ అయానిక్ బాండ్. సో దీంట్లో జస్ట్ అయ్యేది ఆఫ్టర్ కంప్లీషన్ ఆఫ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత ఫార్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ ప్లస్ అయాన్ మైనస్ అయాన్. సో పాజిటివ్కి నెగిటివ్కి ఏ డైరెక్షన్లో ఉన్న దెర్ ఈస్ అట్రాక్షన్ టేక్స్ ప్లేస్. సో దట్స్ వై we simply conclude that ionic bond is a non-directional bond. Okay. Now see the last example. That is a formation of see the last example. Formation of sodium oxide. Okay, now what are the conditions here for sodium? We know that sodium 11 minus 2. Sorry. It has only one electron. It must lose one electron to get octet. Already we discussed it here. Already sodium chloride formation lo discuss chesam kada. Now it becomes Na plus eight electron. The total become ion configuration. So Na plus becomes stable one. Now the condition for oxygen. Here see the oxygen. Oxygen is 8. So 1 is 2, 2 is 2. What is the oxygen configuration? 2p4. It has how many electrons in its valency? 6 electrons. It need how many electrons? It need 2 electrons. Same it also gains neon configuration. But here the different thing compared to earlier examples is oxygen need 2 electrons, but here one sodium is only 1 electron. In the formation of sodium oxide, the charge must be neutral. Charge neutral ravalante, so minus 2 undali ikkada, positive charge is 2 undali, negative charge is 2 undali. The gaining of electron, losing of electrons must be equal. So kabatti, so దీనికి 2 electron required. కాబట్టి 2 sodiums involves. But 1 sodium involves in the bond former. That means 1 sodium, 1 oxygen involved అయింది అనుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు NaO అవుతుంది. Na losing 1 electron, sodium gains 2 electrons. It does not exist. So kabatti, so ఇక్కడ మనకి ఐడియా రావాలి. There is a presence of 1 more sodium. So there is a presence of 1 more sodium, the forming a Na plus. Okay. Now there is a formation of 2 Na plus ions, 1 O minus 2 ion. There is a formation of a new compound, sodium oxide. Now what is the electrovalency? What is the electrovalency of sodium? 1. 2 sodium combined the 2 electrons in, but 1 sodium given only 1 electron, that is 1. What is the electrovalency of oxygen? That is 2, because oxygen gains 2 electrons. Means electrovalency is, it is also here also different. See the normal general representation. Sodium having 1 valency electron, losing 1 electron, that becomes just sodium Na plus. This is electron, this is charge. Okay, Such type of, how many sodiums are there? 2 sodiums are there. Oxygen, how many valence electrons are there in the valency? 6. It gains 2 electrons. So these 2 into cross marks are from sodium. It becomes -2. And this attraction force between the plus minus carbon, there is a powerful attraction between them. Very highly strong attraction of this makes Na2O. Okay, so this is the ionic bond and how the formation of ionic bond. So in the next class we see what are the basic conditions, what are the different type of conditions which favors the formation of ionic bond. ఇప్పుడు ionic bond ఫామ్ అవ్వాలంటే మనకి కార్డియాన్ ఫామ్ అవ్వాలి, ఆనియాన్ ఫామ్ అవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు కార్డియాన్ ఎప్పుడు ఈజీగా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, ఆనియాన్ ఎప్పుడు ఈజీగా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. సో we discuss in the next topic. Okay. Now this I give a definition that what is mean by electrovalency. So what is meant by electrovalency? Means it is equal to the number of electrons gain, the number of electrons gain or lose by an atom to form its ion and the formation of ionic bond. The number of electrons gained or lost by an atom to form its ion in the formation of ionic bond. For example, sodium becomes Na plus. It's 1 electron kabatti its valency 1. So Mg loses 2 electrons. Means its electrovalency 2. O got -2 charge by taking 2 electrons. Its valency 2. Ante ikkada gaining losing plus minus mentioned as also just these are the number. So electrovalence is a very important thing in ionic bond formation. Okay, so it may be equal or different in an ionic compound. For example, in NaCl, so I am giving shortcut for this. Electrovalency of sodium equal 1, chlorine equal 1. So 1 comma 1. So but you observe in MgF2. What is the electrovalency of Mg? Mg loses 2 electrons, but F got only 1 electron. We need to calculate for one atom, Na2. So what is the electrovalency of sodium? So one sodium loses only 1 electron with them. So oxygen need how many? 2 electrons. Means here at last you just write a point in your own words. That electrovalency in ionic bond, the electrovalency in ionic bond may be equal for both cation and anion, may be different for both cations and anions. We got the 3 examples just to get that explanation. Cation, anion 1 comma 1, here 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2. Means it is not compulsory that electrovalency of all ions in ionic compounds must be equal. It may be equal or it may not be equal. Okay, just write the notes perfectly and just revise the topic any available book for you. Okay.